I was recently in a position to need to ask a favor of the leadership of my two new congregations. I hoped they would say yes, but their answer was even better. Shalom, my friends. Yes, I did get an affirmative answer in response to my request, but there is an answer that is even better than yes.
Right.
Let me tell you the story. I'd been teaching a young man, preparing him for his bar mitzvah back in Indiana, but the bar mitzvah was taking place after I had already moved to Nebraska. The young man would have been much more comfortable having his teacher with him when he was called for his honor as a bar mitzvah. And my former congregation asked me to ask the leadership of my new community if they would allow me to return to Indiana for the bar mitzvah. They didn't merely say yes. They said, if we were in that situation, that is what we would want. A yes would have given permission, but the response I got went beyond giving permission because it showed not only agreement, but empathy. This is the ideal way to look at and treat others. It's not simply being nice, and it's not merely feeling sorry for them. Jewish tradition asks us to know something of their inner world, and then to help them carry whatever it is they are carrying. The Torah teaches us, you shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt. The Hebrew is especially powerful.
Come on, can't you read this, huh? You're the Jew here.
Va'atem yadatem et nefesh hager. Literally, you know the soul of the stranger. The Torah doesn't merely say that we know about the stranger. It says we know the stranger's nefesh, the inner experience of being vulnerable or displaced or alone. And how do we know that? Because we've been there. We have stood in their place. We were strangers in the land of Egypt. The memory of Egypt is not meant to remain only a story about what happened to our ancestors. It is meant to shape how we see the person standing in front of us. You know what it is like to be excluded. So notice the person standing alone at the edge of the room. You know what it's like to be misunderstood. So listen before forming a judgment. You know what it is like to feel powerless. So be careful with the power that you do have. Our ancestral experience of pain can take us in one of two directions. We could say, we suffered, we survived, let others do the same thing. Or we can say, because we have suffered, we will not allow others to suffer alone. And the Torah asks us to choose the second path. But empathy in Judaism.
You know something? I never would have guessed it in a million years. You sure don't look Jewish.
Does not end with understanding. Pirkei Avot names 48 qualities through which Torah is acquired. And among those qualities is noseh ba'ol im chavero, bearing the burden with one's fellow. Notice that the teaching does not say observe your fellow's burden. It doesn't even say only feel bad about your fellow's burden. It says help carry it. This changes our understanding of empathy. Empathy is not standing at a distance and saying, I understand that the load is heavy. It's walking over, taking hold of one side of it, and saying, you don't have to carry this all by yourself. Sometimes bearing the burden means practical help, like making a meal, offering transportation, helping with an expense, or taking responsibility for a task. Sometimes it means emotional support, presence, listening without interrupting, sitting with someone in grief, or resisting the temptation to offer a quick and easy answer. And sometimes it means speaking up when someone else is being ignored, demeaned, or treated as though they do not belong. We should also notice that Pirkei Avot says to bear the burden im chavero, with one's fellow. We are not called to take over another person's life. We do not assume that we understand everything they need, but we stand with them and we listen, we ask, we accompany them on their journey. Exodus gives us the inner movement of empathy. Know the soul of the stranger. Pirkei Avot gives us its outward expression. Help carry your fellow's burden. One asks us to remember. The other asks us to respond. If you have experienced real empathy in your life, please share the story in the comments box below the video. I certainly hope you found this video worthy of serious consideration. If you did, please like it on YouTube by giving it a thumbs up. Helps us get our videos in front of more viewers. And perhaps you noticed that we are now only 10 subscribers short of our first 1,000. So if you've not yet subscribed, and remember, a subscription costs nothing, please consider becoming a subscriber. All you have to do when you're logged into YouTube is click on my face right over here. Or you can watch another video by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.